Element 3.2, improving health and safety culture. How you can improve health and safety culture, we will talk about this in this element, sub element 3.2. Management safety culture, safety culture can be improved by senior management set policy. If company senior management is setting a policy, that means they are committing to do something best in the safety, that will lead to improve safety cultures. They also set priorities and targets. They must inspire and motivate. Their leadership cascade through the organization. And visible leadership, that means behaving safely, involvement, safety meeting, doing safety tours and audit, promoting changes to improve safety, enforcing rules through use of discipline. This will help to enhance safety culture at the site. Next one is competent person. If company hiring competent person means what? If all employees are competent. A competent person is someone who has sufficient training, that means they have taken training about the work, skills, experience and knowledge. If any person has these four things, that means that person is competent worker. And perhaps other attributes such as attitude or physical ability to be able to carry out their job safely. These are the points which makes a competent workers or a competent employee of the company. This is the group exercise you have to do. That means identify a few examples of workplace communication from the following categories. What is verbal communication? That means orally we are talking to each other. This is a verbal communication. Written means what? If you are giving message by writing, that is written communication. By graphics, that means by poster making or drawing making. This is the graphic communication. What are the merit and limitation of each other? You just discuss, or you can make a notes on merit and demerit. First of all, we are going to start verbal communication. What is the benefit and limitation of verbal communication? This is the very important question which always asked in the NIBOS IGC. Benefit of verbal communication is that this is the personal. That means personally you can talk to each other, and quick. That means what you are talking. Next one is listening you directly without any delay, and this is a direct between each other. And check understanding, that means you can take feedback. You are understanding me or not, you can ask to him. And feedback, you can take feedback. Share views, that means if you are giving information to someone, you can ask for share your view, what you are thinking about this. Additional information, that means body language will be shared. And these are the benefits of the verbal communication. But everything has some limitation. Verbal communication is also has limitation, is that language barrier. If you are talking to someone, that person is not understanding your language, this is the language barrier. Jargon, suppose what you are talking to him, that is very complex. A strong accent and dialect. Next is background noise. If you are talking in background noise, that means your communication will be not clear, and the person will not listen to you clearly. Ambiguity and missing information in while speaking, you can it depend upon you are not giving full information, that means missing information, forgetting information, no record. What you have talked to him, it has no record because this is not written. And poor quality, that means telephone or personal address system is public address system is, if you are talking on telephone, that means telephone sound is not coming properly, voice is very up and down. These are the problems which can be faced in verbal communication. Next one is written communication. What is the benefit of written communication? This is a permanent record. This is reference you can refer in future, and can be written carefully for the clarity. Wide distribution, relatively cheaply. This is very cheap written communication, wide distribution. And limitation is that it is indirect. That means you can write on the pen and paper, you can send to him, and this is not direct. This is time consuming. This is jargon or abbreviation you can use in your writing language that will next will not understand what you have written there. Next one is impersonal, ambiguous, may not read. Suppose your writing is not clear, then receiver will not read what you have write there. And language barrier, it may be language barrier, and recipient may not be able to read, and no immediate feedback, can't question, impaired vision. If someone has impaired vision, that means he is not able to see, then how they will read your written communication. Next one is graphic communication. What is graphic communication? As you watching this slide is graphic communication in red, and benefit is that this is eye catching. That means you can understand very easily. This is the visual, quick to interpret, no language barrier, jargon free, convey a message to a wide audience. That means it is not language barrier, so everyone will able to understand what the meaning of this graphics. Limitation of the graphic communication is that simple message expensive, may not look at, symbol or pictogram may be unknown, feedback, no questions, impaired visions. These types of problem may be faced by the graphic communication. This is the limitation. Next one is broadcasting method. What is broadcasting? Broadcasting means notice board is the type of broadcasting method. Poster and video is also broadcasting. Digital media, toolbox talk is also a broadcasting method. Memo and emails and worker handbook is also a broadcasting method. This is the group exercise. You can ask this question yourself and you can answer. What are the merit and limitation of using safety poster as a form of propaganda? These are the poster used, and you have to write here merit and limitation. Cooperation and consultation. What is mean by cooperation and consultation? What is difference between consultation and informing workers? We will clear point one by one. Consulting means what? Consulting means it is the two-way communication. That means two-way exchange of information and opinion between the employer and employee. This is called consulting. That means two persons sharing their information. And informing means what? One-way flow of information to the employee. That means if you are giving some information to someone, that means only you can give, but you can't take their suggestion. This is called one-way communication. That means informing is the one-way communication. Typical issue to consult on. When we consult, that means introduction of new measures affecting health and safety. At that time we will take consultation. Appointment of new advisors, health and safety training plans, introducing new technology. These are the typical issue to consult on. Method of consultation. These are the direct consultation. That means employer talk to each worker and resolve issue. That means consultation means also taking worker view, and employer talking to worker and worker giving view to employer. Then they are communicating each other and then resolves issue. These are the called direct consultation. Or through worker representative. Suppose there are thousands of worker working on the site, and you can't talk to each other. You can't talk to everyone. So 1,000 worker has deployed a representative. That means one of them is representative of all the worker, and you are talking to one, not to all. So these are the through worker representative. Committee is formed to represent workers. Regular meeting to discuss and resolve issue, and member may have right in the law. These are the consultation method. And this is the group exercise for you. What makes an effective committee? You discuss. Health and Safety Committee Forum. What is Health and Safety Committee? As you know that every company has Health and Safety Committee, and as you know that every company has health and safety committee. These are the issues that may be considered: a study of accident and disease statistics. This is the reasons for making committee: review of report from the active monitoring, example of safety audit reports, examination of safety audit reports, and consideration of report and information from the HSE, consideration of report submitted by the safety representative, provide assistance in development of procedures and policy, monitor the effectiveness of training, and monitor of improved safety communication. This can be considered by the committee. Issue can be solved by the committee on this point. Next one is, what is training? Health and safety training is planned formal process of acquiring and practicing knowledge and a skill in a relatively safe environment. Training has dramatic effect on safety related behavior. What is the training effect? Without training, workers try to do their job by copying to other or doing the job the way they think is best. Training helps worker to understand. If you are giving training to someone, then what it helps? It helps to understand hazard and risks, rules and precautions, emergency procedures, and who to contact with the concerns, limitations and restrictions. Next one is personal safety responsibilities and consequence of breaking rules, including disciplinary procedure. These are the points which help to understand during training. Training opportunities. What types of training opportunities is when we will provide training to the worker? First of all, when the new employee join, we will provide induction training. And next one is job change. When someone is changing job, that means if someone is changing job, then hazard will be changed, risks will be changed, then new hazard following a change in the job. Process change. If process is changing, then new hazard associated with the new way of working, then we have to provide training. New technology. If technology is changing, then you have to provide training. New legislation. Implication of new legislation. If government rule is changed in that time, then you have to provide training opportunity to all the workers affecting by that rules. What is induction training and what point you should consider while giving induction training? In induction training, you have to tell them health and safety policy of your company, emergency procedure at your site, first aid facilities at your site, a specific site hazard and controls you have to tell them, welfare facilities available at your site, you have to make him aware about this. Safe movement. In case of movement at your site, how you will move safely. Accident and incident reporting procedure at your site, and consultation arrangement. If you have some problems, then where you will talk, then this consultation arrangement you have to tell in the induction training. Safety rules, personal protective equipment used at your site, safe working and permits used at your site, risk assessment and also responsibility of individuals. What is your responsibility? You have to tell them in induction training. And in last, disciplinary procedure. That means what types of disciplinary procedure you will take in case of safety violation, you have to tell them in induction training. These are the very long training, and at the time of a new person joined, you have to tell them all.